Views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of alltalkradio.net.
Looking back at life as it's been before, holding on to things that might have been, knowing that this day will never come again, as my spirit's guiding me to a place where I am free.
And welcome to Soul Chat. I'm Jane McGuire.
I'm Elena Risto.
And today our guest is Eric Peters.
Hello, hello.
So before we get started with Eric, we have to do our...
What did we learn this week?
Absolutely.
Right.
You start.
Well, mine's real quick. I learned that I keep focusing on what I can't control instead of what I can.
Oh, good luck. Woohoo!
Yeah, I seem to get stressed out about things that are way out of my control, and I keep trying to change them or wishing they would change more than anything. Yeah. And then realizing I'm not focusing on what I can do. Mm-hmm. And it's pulling me totally off track.
Path, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was my big aha.
Yeah.
Well, more than one area. It was more than just the music show I'm in. It was on some other things as well.
I have to say a couple of different things. When three people that are intuitive get together, the messages really tend to flow.
Oh, boy.
You, me, and Mary Rose.
Mary Rose,
yeah,
right.
We all showed up at
right.
Karma Connections on Sunday after having a breakfast, and it was just really flowing. It was kind of fun because Mary Rose and I were getting the same types of visions at the same time.
I felt like I was a bystander. I was just kind of sitting there. Not that I wasn't getting anything, but the stuff that you were talking about, stuff that you'd both gotten 6 months ago.
And we weren't really
at the same time.
Yeah, and we weren't talking. And I think that's because we both work with the same being too.
Oh, I probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
probably so.
And things, this Mary Rose, when we were having breakfast, she did talk a little bit about, was it Uranus retrograde?
Yes.
And how it comes out on the 21st? Comes out of retrograde?
Yeah, it's going to be on the winter solstice this year.
Yeah.
And while we're there, anybody wants to come to a winter solstice event at Karma Connection.
At my work, it's on Warm Springs and Rainbow. Yep, and that's a Sunday, I believe we're doing it.
It is a Sunday,
right?
And so starting at about 6 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
We're going to come. Actually, people can come at like 5:30.
That would be better. And there is limited seating available. So if you see this either on Meetup or on
and I send out messages to her on our Facebook page. It'll show up there as well.
So we do ask that you respond, and it is on a love donation basis, correct?
Right.
And it's actually going to be a lot of fun, I think. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and with Uranus coming out of retrograde, it's like I've been telling you, it's sudden changes happening electrically.
Absolutely.
In the environment and around us. And last night I had somebody telling me at the dinner that I went to that, wow, all of a sudden I've got friends that I've had that have been hanging by a toenail. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, and even one that wasn't, that I thought was a solid friend, has just gone.
Oh, yeah. I'm finding that with people not only in my online life, but my offline life.
Right.
People that are just no longer moving through their own stuff are just separating themselves, sometimes voluntarily, sometimes through electronic means, but absolutely.
Yeah, and we mean electrically, I'm referring to the energy that happens, that snaps, that happens all of a sudden. That's kind of where we're going. So it's sudden change, and it's cleaning itself up because starting December 1st, like she said, the energy is going to start shifting and changing because coming up next year is the Golden Ram. And in Chinese astrology is the Golden Ram, which is a very good year for people that have their intentions set to heal.
Yeah,
and to step forward in a healthy way.
I'd gotten the message a few years ago, and people that need to understand this about psychics, our timing can be way off.
Well, and you're reading the energy that you're getting at the time.
Exactly.
So every time somebody makes a choice that changes the energy, albeit a little bit, so you can have go 6 months later, and maybe the whole picture has changed depending on the changes that are made.
But the being that I channel was calling it the age of compassion. That we're shifting from all this selfishness to compassion coming from heart-centered in all of our lives.
Right.
So, and she's calling it the end of the dark ages, and all.
Well, it's the end of the dark ages and going into the light age.
Stepping into the light.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. More awareness. And 2012, she and I were just talking this morning, and 2012, December 21st, 2012, everybody said the world's going to end, and of course they would ask me, and I would say, that's awfully simple, isn't it? That would be a lot easier if the world ended, then we wouldn't have to live through all this crap, So, yeah. Right. But it's a time, it's
or the
a
Mayan
time,
calendar just ran out.
I still like the cartoon with the guys looking around for the stone tablet and he's run out. I think that's my favorite, Yeah. You didn't see that, huh? So, so it's the age of enlightenment. And also, for years, the old song, "This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius," right? It's about man standing alone, meaning humans standing. They don't need anybody between them and their connection with their spirit.
Right. Right.
So it's a direct revelation, which makes my business really good because that's what I teach people to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd like to introduce our guest and say, Eric, what did you learn this week?
Well, this week I learned that no matter where the road takes you, there's always going to be an angel to hold their hand out to pick you up.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, if you get hit by a car, then they're going to take you somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, Eric Peters started walking across the United States. You're an Afghanistan vet, correct? From the Army, 101st Airborne.
Yep.
Right? And he started walking across the United States on summer solstice. From
Which
New
is
Jersey.
June 21st.
Yes. So, and he's here. He just got into Las Vegas last night, so yay.
Whoop, whoop.
Right? And he's finding out the other thing he's learned is that it's not 108.
No, it's not. It's one of our colder times of the year,
Right,
which
it
I
is.
love. It's fine.
Right. So, so he's had. I've had the pleasure of spending a lot of time with him in the last 24 to 48 hours, and I've listened to a lot of wonderful stories. So, Eric, I just kind of want to let you go on this. And I do want to say, if you do want to call in and talk to Eric and ask him a question or say hello, the number is 702-609-7626. And then we also have Skype, so you can sign into Skype and type in All Talk Radio in the search bar, and that will pop up as well. So again, if you want to talk in, say thank you for his service or ask him a question, please call in. You've been walking across. You've had some good experiences. You've had some not so good experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but even the not so good are good.
Well, they're funny to tell people.
Okay, so tell us.
Which one you want to go for?
Well, I want to know first, I want to know about the moment that you decided to do this, because it's no small feat to walk from New Jersey to California.
Right.
I don't even want to drive from New Jersey.
No, he's got big feet.
Oh, well, okay. So I'm curious about, not about the decision. I'm curious about the moment you knew that you were going to do this. What caused that?
I want to make a stand. I want to let everybody know in the world that, us veterans, we're not bad people.
Right.
And all it takes is a helping hand. Veterans all over the place. I help them out. If I keep doing that and showing people, just always do the right thing, even when no one's watching. If I can continue to do that and get other people to follow in my steps. Now, I'm not telling them, I'm the best person to follow, but I'm saying, you follow that, do the right thing, even when no one's watching, you can't go wrong.
So one step back from that, because I get it. I think that's wonderful what you're talking about, because I think being a model for people is the best thing that we can do. This is the best way we can teach.
Yeah.
So, but I'm talking about, was there an incident? Was there a trigger? Was there a moment? It's kind of like when I knew I was getting a divorce. I mean, in a moment, I'd ask myself a question for about 2 years. Is this the day? And then the moment came, and the answer went from no to yes.
Okay.
So was there a moment, there was something that happened that caused you to go, I'm going to do this? Maybe you'd been thinking about it, but it was the commitment.
Oh, yeah. It was, basically, I was denied by the VA.
Uh-huh.
I went for, all this stuff, and I got one letter. I think it was 3 letters. All denied. Every single thing I went for.
Now, this was for treatment for PTSD? Or just treatment in general?
Well, for PTSD.
Okay.
So basically, I would want it. I don't even know how to explain it.
Just open your mouth. My experience is it happens.
Oh, yeah.
There's sentence in there coming out.
Yeah, there's sentences are coming out.
Okay. Well, you get a certain percentage. So let's say Joe, he was in the war, lost his leg. Well, he's going to come back, and the VA is going to give him a percentage. Okay? Of however much.
Disability pay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you got to understand, you know lingo that I'm the person. Jane's familiar with lingo because she works with this more than I do, although we do work together. But I'm not familiar with the lingo. So percentage of disability pay. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. That's also called service connected.
Okay.
When you receive a percentage.
Okay.
That percentage, that's telling you how much money that you're going to be making that month.
Okay.
So, like recently, actually, I got 30%. My grandmother called me up and, I got a letter here by the VA.
Very good invitation. I like it.
Thank you.
There's a career here in Vegas for you.
There is.
Oh, yeah. And, I'm on the phone and I was like, it's the VA. Put it in the back. And then I thought about it and, she's reading off all the other mail, junk mail, magazine. I was like, okay, that's it. No. Read the VA letter. And she started reading it. Well, the VA decided to give me 30% for PTSD.
30% of your normal check. Is that what you're saying?
Well, right now, well, not right now, but I will be making $405 a month.
Some veterans, when they're 100% disabled, can get up to $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
But you're going to get $400, not $4,000.
Correct.
Correct. Okay.
But there's also there's many other things that's wrong with me. Like tinnitus in my right ear. I got bad ankle, bad knee. The list goes on. But I need to get those problems. The thing I want is for it to go away.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
And that's in everyone's head where, someone who has PTSD, well, their main dream every single night is to make it go away like that.
They'll wake up. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up.
Exactly.
And it'll be gone.
Exactly.
But it's all, like anything else, it's all done in layers.
Sure.
Because of all the different symptoms that different people experience.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like the common cold, and you know this because you deal with it also, where you just have the sniffles and the cough, and you can take the medicine and it goes away. It doesn't work like that.
So would this be fair to say that think of your worst nightmare, and we've all had a dream when we were a kid that bothered us, and it stuck with us for years. And I teach dream workshops, okay? So if I knew I was going to have that dream every night, or had a high chance of having that dream every night, that kind of anticipation, would you say you go to sleep with that?
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to give an experience to people that aren't familiar with it, because we hear PTSD, we hear post-traumatic stress syndrome, and not many of us, like anything, it gets to be jargon after a while, and people don't know what that means, And so those of you that are listening, think about it. The worst dream you've ever had, knowing tonight I'm going to go to sleep and there's a high chance I'm going to have it again.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And then not sleep well, which can create anxiety, creates fatigue, all that stuff, and then it leads to not eating well. It's just this whole big hot mess.
The best way to think about it for other people in someone else's shoes, that you always get anxiety when you get pulled over. You see the red and blue lights. You're like,
oh yeah, even if I've never done anything.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
George is down here going, oh yeah.
Well, we know George has been pulled over.
Yeah.
And you think about that experience, like how the heart rate, the anxiety, the handshaking, the thought process, and that's what PTSD kind of shifts around. I have that every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's once a day, sometimes it's 10 times a day. Sometimes it can last the whole day. I stay away from public. I'll even take a day off from walking if I feel that. If I feel anxiety really kicking in.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and it is about recognizing that we have to have that time, that space away.
And I also want people to understand that PTSD is not just veterans or experiences.
Right.
Anybody who has experienced some kind of traumatic event, and probably the only way, the closest empathy I can get for you is that I'm a survivor of domestic violence from a first marriage a long, long time ago, okay? And I spent a lot of time. There was a good 6 months I spent sleeping on a different couch every night to stay safe. It took me 3 or 4 years when I would hear a car in the driveway not to sit up bolt right in bed, ready to run. So that's the closest I can get. I can't imagine what you went through. But just so everybody understands, we've all got something in us that can empathize in some manner with what you're going through. So I want people to have an open mind.
Right. Exactly.
It's not just a veteran problem. It's a human problem.
Yes. Yes. That's yeah.
Maybe take it more on a serious level. You know, not a lot of people take that serious.
No,
You know, you have people walking down the street and parading saying, I have PTSD, I have TBI. No, it's nothing to really celebrate. I mean, am I right?
You're right. And you told me something yesterday that kind of blew my mind, and that was that somebody claimed they had PTSD from a paper cut.
Yep, in Texas.
Yeah.
Doctor gave, it was a little girl.
Okay, I'm reaching on that one.
I know.
I just got one yesterday, and I mean, you know, I'm not having...
And I will admit that they do hurt.
Oh, yeah, I looked at it and went, I won't say what I said, but...
Well, this is internet radio. You can say it.
I could say it. I'll leave that to Max.
But I think there are people that, like that person, obviously maybe that was the trigger for the person and not the cause.
And it could be, but it almost makes... Was this person serious about that they were? That's...
The doctor actually wrote a prescription.
Yeah. Because she was so terrified of paper that she wouldn't touch paper. She wouldn't go around
Okay,
it.
now we're talking about something.
Phobias. Yeah.
Did you get her name and phone number? I can call her.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Right.
I can work with this, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you feel when you heard that?
I laughed.
Did you?
I did. I'm not going to lie. I have a heartless sense to me, so I laugh at cruel things. It happens.
Well, sometimes that's the way to get through it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know? So,
yeah.
You know, you just got to be happy with everything, I guess that would say, to get over that.
Well, yeah, it's one way to get through it. I mean, especially if you can't laugh at yourself sometimes, how do you get through anything?
Right,
you know?
and you and I have said before that play and having fun is such a huge part of healing from trauma, because that joy in your life literally is shattered, you know, from that trauma that's happened, whatever that trauma is.
Now, on that note, who was it that was telling me? Was it you? No, I don't think you're the one that was telling me. And I want to see if this makes any sense to you.
Not a problem.
I was told 2 days ago that they had heard that a study had been done showing that playing games like Candy Crush helps disconnect the brain because of how they're working with neuroscience, with the way the brain patterns. Because part of the thing with
that must have been Mary Rose. That wasn't
no,
me.
it was somebody else that I can't think of who it is now, that was telling me that they had heard and they had read this study where they said that actually the closest to the event that caused the trauma, that they can get them to playing these repetitive games like Candy Crush, and where you're patterning and your brain is patterning the whole time, that it helps remove
the stress energy,
the stress on the system.
That makes sense.
Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
No, nobody's going to go buy Candy Crush.
He's been walking across the United States.
Well, but that's a repetitive thing. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I can carry the flag in one hand, Candy Crush in the other.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
voice it.
And he was actually in Ferguson when everything erupted, or just outside of Ferguson.
Nice timing.
Yeah.
It was within 3 days when they shot who was that cat?
Michael Brown.
Yes, Michael Brown. So
yeah.
I walked in, it looked fine. You know, it looked like nothing happened when I walked. But, you know, evidently 3-4 weeks later, now people are going crazy and throwing Molotov cocktails.
I just saw on Facebook, a friend of mine put a video on there. They were lighting the Christmas tree in Seattle. And they had protesters there in front of the kids holding up Black Lives Count. They protested at the Christmas tree lighting in Seattle.
And that's just so not the, you know,
I mean,
this is
what?
not,
Come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to turn this into a Ferguson.
No, I don't either. But the point is that, you know,
get over it.
Get over it.
Yeah.
You know, let's
move on.
Move on. Yeah. So you're in Ferguson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How long did you stay?
No, I was just in and out, but it's not that bad as everybody says. It really isn't.
That's what I've heard.
There are some really nice people.
Yeah.
It's like the rioting that we experienced in L.A. and Detroit in the 60s and the riots, and there was, areas that were, and there were other areas of town that you wouldn't even have known it was going on.
Yeah. Now, there is a good story that came out of Ferguson. There was a woman whose bakery was burned down. And within 24 hours of her story being posted on Facebook, she had enough cake orders for 2 to 3 weeks. And she's going to be able to build her business back up because the amount of people that saw the story and ordered these cakes. Yeah. And that was a young African-American woman trying to make her way in this world. So I just thought that was such an awesome response to that. That is exactly the way people needed to respond. It was, and the picture on her face on the Facebook was just her crying. And it was just, great. Her dream had been crushed. And now all of a sudden the universe stepped in and it's like, no, we're going to build you back up again.
So we wandered like we usually do. So we're back to so your grandmother got a letter and you had a percentage. You were told there was a certain percentage you were going to get.
Yep,
right?
30%.
Okay. And so in that moment when you heard that, what did you feel?
You can say it. This is internet radio.
Yes, we don't care.
I honestly, at the moment, like when she first told me, I didn't know what to think. You know, I'm thinking, oh, she's blowing, smoke up my ass. Yeah. Like, I'm not a wise guy. I know when someone's trying to pull one over on me. And then she's like, "Oh, this looks really good, Eric. Wow."
To her, that's a lot of money, probably.
Yeah. And she's sitting there the whole time. She's, "Wow. Oh, look at that." The whole time. I'm like, all right, read the rest of it. So, the VA said, we apologize, clearly, I remember the word for word, but they said...
I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah. But I can take a small part of it, because I won't quote everything, because I might be wrong, but they said, clearly you have PTSD.
Congratulations, you get $400 a month.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And when they say clearly you have PTSD, what does that mean to them? That means
I'm just a write-off.
You have a headache, take 2 aspirin, and here's enough money to buy aspirin a month or something, or what?
Honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have it. It's kind of like an accommodation, but at the same time, I want it healed.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm that guy who's in my fantasy world saying, I want it to go away.
So it basically was a letter that said, here's $400. Figure out with this $400 you can go get the help that you need or whatever. They weren't offering you any kind of therapy. Did they put you through any kind of therapy? Did they give you anything at all?
No.
No, you have to.
He's gone. Come on.
And most of the time,
they looked at me and laughed.
Most of the time, you have to be really proactive about that and seek out the counseling at the VA and all of that. But you and I know from the work that we've done at US Vets that yes, they have the counseling, the addiction, and all that, but some guys are on 16, 20 pills. And
that's
and
terrible.
that's just not going to heal the problem. It'll dull the senses.
It's like I was telling somebody the other day about a different situation who's coming off some medication and they're feeling real bumpy right now.
Sure.
And I said, that's because for the last 2 years, somebody gave you in pill form a down feather blanket to drop on the problem so you couldn't see it, so you couldn't feel it.
Right.
Now it's getting thinner and thinner and it's coming off. The problem is drugs doesn't heal the problem.
Right.
Doesn't pull it out by the roots. It doesn't. All it does is hopefully make you feel better so you don't feel as stressed. Now, have you taken anything? Are you on something now? Does it help?
Not right now, no.
Yeah.
But I will say that before I was on, a lot of them I don't remember, but I do remember mini press. Hello.
We have those too.
Yeah,
I'm just old, so it doesn't matter.
I'll pull up the record somewhere.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter. The point is that you've experienced being on medication.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And tell us why it doesn't work.
Because what they tell you is, when I got my mini press, we'll take that. That's one I remember. All right. When you take the mini press, it's going to take a week or 2 for it to work.
It's going to take. The story usually is it's going to take a week or 2 for it to build up, and then all of a sudden you'll feel better.
Yeah.
The week or 2 went by and you didn't feel better.
Correct.
And nice word.
I even gave it a 3rd week.
Yeah.
And all my friends are looking at me, making fun of me because I look like my grandmother taking. I got
handfuls of vitamins. Yeah.
And I looked in the mirror. I said, Nope, not for me. Sorry.
And that's what we hear a lot of the veterans saying is, no, I don't want to be on the medication.
No, right. I mean, there's a lot of them who do. There's a lot of them who enjoy it.
Well,
that's just their own personal preference.
Right, exactly.
it's some kind of relief.
Yeah.
But for the veterans who want the help, though, what do they have? Who does the VA have to look upon to get the veterans the help?
Right.
And I'm not talking always about the money. I'm talking about veterans who cry every night because they can't have a decent night to sleep. They lost all their friends, they lost their family, lost their girlfriend, wife, children, you name it. They probably lost it. And what's the VA doing? Well, you can take this pill. It'll be okay.
Right.
You're going to get your family back with this pill. Bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit.
And that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing for families, though, is because they don't know how to react to somebody that has PTSD.
Well, they've gotten no manual. There's nothing come with
right.
telling this is what your loved one has been through while he's been gone.
Exactly.
Here's things you can do. There isn't any.
There are groups out there that will support the families that the caregivers can go to, and they can get advice and things like that. So if you are a caregiver of somebody with PTSD, you also have to look out for yourself as well.
Oh, absolutely, because the tendency is to try and they want to fix it too.
Sure.
This is my loved one.
Yeah.
This is somebody I care about. I want it to stop, and then maybe both of our lives can get better.
So is a lot of information out there, but what are some of the things to not say to somebody that has PTSD?
I understand you. I understand your pain.
Yep.
That's a good one.
That's I always let people slide with that one because I always say sociopath because I actually have an emotion that to care about when they say it, so I don't really act upon it. But I think the biggest one I ever freaked out on, it was Mr. Peters. Yeah, yes, buddy. Have you killed anybody? And what gun did you use? Hold on. All right. So let's talk real. There's only two ways to answer that question, and it's gonna haunt the veteran for a while.
Yeah.
He's gonna say no, and he's gonna regret it
because it's not the truth. Because it's not the core of who he is, right?
Well, no, not necessarily. The way the veteran's gonna look at it is, did you shoot a gun? Did you not shoot a gun at someone and, watch, all the graphic stuff? If they say no, that means that they have to live with the guilt of not actually going overseas to helping their brothers out.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see where you're going.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if you say yes, then you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
Because the whole thing comes back.
Because it's a trigger.
Maybe he's still trying to get over it. Maybe he's not wanting to relive that experience.
So don't ask about how come you have PTSD.
Correct.
Okay, so what would you suggest people ask? What that's helpful? Is there anything helpful?
There is. Just talk and get to know them. If they ask you, this is actually a really big one for me. A lot of people said it to me and they haven't actually done what they said. But the biggest one is if I were to ask you, can you promise me to be there for me every night, to talk to me, and just walk me through the day, because I'm making the effort to get better. I know I'm not 100% okie dokie. There's many problems around me, but I can't come to those problems alone. Maybe I have a fear in myself to overlook my problems.
So if somebody came to you and honestly said, so that you could believe it, what can I do for you? What can I do to support you through the day?
And I'll just tell them, message me, talk to me, just get to know me, talk to me about my day, talk to me about everything that happened. And I would have to tell you about my emotion. What did I feel? What didn't I feel? How do I think I should feel? Or how should I feel? There you go. But like I said, there's a lot of people who talk the talk, and when it comes to walking the walk, you can't.
They'd rather give you a cake.
They'd rather Band-Aid over a gunshot wound.
I think it also comes down to, basically, we've talked about this before, listening and having that compassion. But the biggest thing is to not judge. To not judge because if you're going to ask the question, you've got to be prepared for the answer.
Right.
And to react in a compassionate, loving manner.
And what does that look like to you? When somebody's compassionate for you, what does that look like to you? First of all, let me ask you, are you real visual? Or do you sense things, or do you hear things?
I sense.
Sense things, okay.
Yeah.
So what makes you feel like the person who's talking to you has compassion for you? What do you feel?
You have to look in the eyes.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that's the only way. You can't tell by cheeks because, you know, the upset, you know, sympathy face, same facials as anger. You know, it's all about what you say.
Okay.
Eyes, if they droop down, you know, if like they
won't look at you.
Well, now if they do look at you, watch where they're looking.
Okay.
You know.
And so, where do they look that tells you they're not being compassionate?
Chest.
Wow. Okay. So
Okay, that's good information.
That's great information.
It's great information. Yeah.
You know how you always tell it too? I gotta itch my chest, and then move your hand to your hip, and then itch it. If they follow it.
So that's how you can tell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because on my walk, a lot of people. There's a lot of bullshitters out there. I cannot.
A lot of bullshitters everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, I think walking across America, I can officially give America the #1 award for being bullshitters.
Yeah.
I love it. It's awesome.
Speaking
it's America.
of awards, though, you're also a Purple Heart recipient.
Yes.
And you've met President Obama as well, right?
Unfortunately.
Well, this is not a political show.
All right. I got to put my foot down right
No,
now.
we're not going to get into his character.
Yeah. No.
Just stating that Eric has come and met a lot of people, and along on your journey, you've also been supported a lot by the Wounded Warrior Project.
Absolutely.
So we should give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Right.
Wounded Warrior
That's
Project.
woundedwarrior.org, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
WWP, I thought.
No, I think it's www.
Hold on, I got the hat on.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Wounded Warrior Project.
Wounded Warrior
TM.
Project. And they are in,
that's
and,
right.
and also, I didn't know this until you talked to somebody today at US Vets. Wounded Warrior Project is not just for combat veterans. They reach out to non-combat veterans,
Right.
and they are looking to hire veterans. So if you're a veteran looking for a job, you may want to contact Wounded Warrior Project. You don't have to be a combat veteran to work there. So I found that out today.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. There's also the Soldier's Heart, I think.
Soldiers Angels? Yeah.
No. Ed Tick, because I know someone who works with him, and he's done a lot of radio work, but he actually takes Vietnam vets back to Vietnam
Oh, God.
to revisit where they've been to see it now, because a lot of them don't have closure. Everybody
Yeah.
pulled out of there so fast.
Yep.
You know, you weren't even thought of yet when that happened. I was around watching it, but I believe it's called Soldier's Heart. I'll have to find that for you. But that's another organization. But the Wounded Warrior Project, I keep hearing about it.
Yeah.
You know?
And they've been really, really instrumental in supporting him.
Right. That's really
So-
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of motorcycle clubs, like Warrior Breed was one of them. You know, they helped me out in Indiana, and they even helped me out in Arizona when I got sick. You know, I was sick like a dog, and they let me stay at their place. It's like awesome people. That's what I'm talking about.
You've also been supported by a lot of the VFW.
Yes,
on-
the VFWs, American Legions.
Yep.
Yeah, DAV.
Yeah, DAV is a great organization.
Yep, Disabled
Yeah.
American Vets. You know, that's who I originally went for my VA claim. Went to the liaison, and they helped me out with some stuff. So other stuff, it was just a timely manner.
Right.
So.
Right.
So when you got the idea to walk, I'm back to the front.
Right, I know you are.
To that's my job. Anyway, to walk across America, when did it come to you to do that? Because it's an idea.
It's a big idea.
It's a big idea. I'm curious as to, you know what I'm looking for. I'm
Yeah.
looking for the connection to spirit.
Yeah. Honestly, I just wanted to do something bigger than, who wants to know about someone walking across America?
Well, a lot of people.
Americans do.
Yeah,
They
Exactly.
love these
and a
kind
lot of
stories.
people have done that. You've heard
Yeah.
about people walking other places across Alaska, whatever.
In Canada.
You know?
Saw that one. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So did you get it in the middle of the night? Did you get it while you were eating your Rice Krispies? Did you? When did
I
it
was
hit?
playing guitar when I figured it out.
You what?
I was playing guitar.
Oh, my
So-
favorite. Okay, now we're on the track that I was wondering about. Okay.
Sound healing.
You were playing guitar, and what do you like to play? You play guitar a long time?
No.
Okay.
I make my own music.
Okay.
I can't follow other people's music.
Nope, that makes sense.
And I try all the time, but if I just freelance it, I can do it. It's weird to me. So
no, it makes a whole lot of sense to me.
Right.
That's good. Somebody understands.
So if somebody has a guitar that they want to donate to Eric, how are they going to get in touch with you?
Well, he's going to have to pack it with him.
Right?
Does he want to do
Right. Well, he is heading to California, so there's a land of music.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm thinking, while he's here.
Nashville?
But while he's here in Las Vegas,
ABC,
maybe
it's
we
Nashville.
can. But while he's here in Las Vegas, maybe somebody would donate a guitar.
Do you want a guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Acoustic, possibly.
Right.
Acoustic, yeah.
Yeah. So we can maybe hit up Guitar Center.
Something.
Oh, right on.
You know, there'll be something around. So you were playing guitar randomly, just kind of.
Yeah, I play guitar for therapy. It helps me just relax, and I can sing it when I play. You know, I can sing about my day, and I can sing about things that's on my mind. I can sing good. I can sing bad.
Okay.
You know, no one's there to judge me.
Okay, so you were playing guitar and you were randomly, and all of a sudden you thought, "Oh, I'm going to walk from New Jersey to California."
Well,
yes, that's exactly how it happened.
That's how it happened.
See, now you were there.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I was singing about PTSD, and I thought, you know, the 3 people walked across America for PTSD, and they raised a lot of money. I want to help out other veterans. These are my brothers and sisters.
Right.
You know, no one's going to push my brother down and without hearing from me. So that's what I'm doing. I'm stepping up and letting them know, you know, you can't back down.
Right.
You know, PTSD and TBI, it's not heavier than you think.
Now TDI.
Traumatic brain injury.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I just hadn't heard the acronym for a long time. So okay. All right.
Yep. So
you literally thought, I'm going to walk across America.
Yeah, just started singing about it, helping people out with PTSD, put it in a song, and now I'm walking it.
So have you written the song?
No.
I suspect you have, but okay.
That's what happens when you're in the middle of 2 intuitives.
Yeah.
I can't let all my secrets out. Someone's gonna find it and use it against me.
You never know. That might be the next.
But I think though, if you do sit down and write that, I think it would be very telling. You know, I would think it'd be a wonderful song about the journey of not only your soul but your walk.
Yeah, that and you know the book that we were talking about today.
Yes.
I want to do a book.
I'm looking forward to reading it. Yeah, reading your book when you finally get all this written.
And it's interesting to me because I was just reading a book, Sonia Choquette.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, she wrote a book called Walking My Way Home. Inside of, I think it was like 3 months, her father died, her brother died, and she went through divorce. I mean, her whole life just changed, right? Yeah. So she walked the Camino de Santiago, the one across Spain, the one that's 600 kilometers long.
Yep.
You know, I mean, and people, some go and they'll come and sometimes they'll take a vacation and they'll take a week of vacation and walk, and then they'll pick up the next year on their vacation, the next piece, right? So it's her story of how she put herself back together. You know, so I'm really glad to hear you're thinking about writing a book because I think you've gotten a lot of information. So spiritually, what have you learned about yourself?
Don't eat Chinese food from different states.
Luigi's of Hong Kong. Yeah. there was in Chicago. I went to it. There was a restaurant called Luigi's of Hong Kong. Yeah. Italians don't know. No, Chinese food.
I think that's very telling though. It's because it is about the foods of the different regions, and Lainey and I are very much about encouraging people to do as holistic as possible, which does include nutrition. Like
what do you mean by that?
Well, because there are certain foods that the more you do the healing, the less you can tolerate those foods, and you know, certain foods can trigger an emotional reaction. So you might want to think about staying away from some of those foods. And I know we had this discussion.
Meat.
On $400
she wanted
a month.
Me to get
well, again, right? But it is about feeding the body and feeding the mind and healing it. So if you're going to have a complete sugar diet, you're going to have some emotion going on because the sugar will trigger that.
So is there something that you didn't, you surprised yourself? Did something surprise you about you on this walk that you could actually walk through Kansas and be normal? Or, I mean, you know, was there something, you know?
It's honestly the walk. It's a therapeutic thing also.
Yes.
You know, just getting out there, and it does get very difficult. I'm not going to lie. There was times when I just wanted to give up. You know, there's other times when I was feeling really, really crappy, and, you know, I thought about those bad thoughts, you know, put myself down the bad drain, you know. But just thinking about it, at least I'm facing it. You know, I'm noticing that I'm not trying to hide it now, but it's kind of embarrassing just walking on the road and bursting out in tears, you know, when I finally do face it, you know.
But I think that's healthy.
Well, for females, it's healthy. For guys and warriors, it's not. It's not something.
I understand that, but again,
we're manly men.
Yeah, manly man, yes.
Especially Thor.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a manly man. Yep.
Yeah. So that's you know, as females, we're taught that it's okay to be emotional, but it's not okay for a warrior.
Right.
And the way they're trained, I mean, it's not okay.
But you and I also worked that female veteran event last February and talked with a few female veterans that felt that they had to maintain that level of strength because that was what the men did and that it wasn't easy for them.
Well, it
cry.
is a man's army.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
But we talked with that, I think it was World War II female veteran that was at our table. And so some of these women have that double issue of they have to be just as strong as a man so they can't break down.
Well, you find that in corporate America, too.
Yeah.
You know, the glass ceiling, if everybody thinks the glass ceiling is gone, it's not.
Right.
You know, it may be thinner, but it's not.
Right.
But
Let's
but
give me
I
a rock, I'll
appreciate.
break it.
I mean, I've had moments when I'm driving along and something hit me, or I'll hear a song where I've had to pull over to the side of the road because the emotion just takes over, and I'm sitting there sobbing. You know, not often. I'm hoping nobody sees it, but you know, it's just, so I understand. You know, so how did you get through that? You just kept walking, one foot in front of the other, or what?
Yeah.
You just kept going. Because where are you going to be in the middle of Arizona? You know.
Yeah, that's it gets kind of hot during the day.
Yeah, it does.
Did you know there's a cactus called a jumping cactus?
No, I did not.
It throws cactus at you.
Yes.
Seriously?
I'm not even joking.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a great story.
It looks like a tree, but don't walk by it. I swear to you, you will get attacked.
And who says they can't think?
They're smart though.
Yeah.
I walked in somebody's house down in Arizona and I looked at my pants because the dog was sniffing it. So I look and I see cactus all up and down my leg.
Yeah.
And they're just little balls, but they have the real and they're sharp. These little needles.
A jumping cactus. That's what it's called?
Yeah. It's actually on the tree. Well, that's what this guy Tim and Jack and Bob told me. Okay.
Oh, we don't know about Tim and Jack and Bob then, huh?
No.
So shout out to Tim, Jack, and Bob.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it hurts. I think I had like 100 little pokes in my hand, and you know they're all getting infected. So I had to put some alcohol on it every morning, every night.
Well, the desert is a dramatic place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome! I love it.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The sunsets are amazing. Mm-hmm. You know, sunrises are amazing.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I went on top of the mountain just to see one sunset.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Just the color on the mountains. It's a deep, smooth red.
So is that the funniest thing that happened to? What's the funniest thing that happened to you? Oh, there's one.
Okay. I know a lot of my friends are listening to this, but
okay.
I don't know if they heard this story or not.
Oh, good.
So
we got a first.
There you go.
Yeah.
So going through Pennsylvania, okay, walking down the road, and guy drives up.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hot, so I had my shamag on. Okay, shamag it's a long cloth. It's like an oversized bandana, but the Afghans use it, or people around sandstorms, to protect their face.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or you can put water in it and put it on your neck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, moving on.
Very multifunctional. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So I had that on with the water just to cool me off, and I'm walking down the road, and a guy looks at me. Boy, what are you doing walking down the road with the American flag? I said, well, sir, I'm a veteran. Well, hell, you look like an Afghan. Oh, sir.
It's just a scarf.
Yeah, but also I have my beard going. Yup. So, boom, right to the skin color. So he was, telling him what I was doing. I'm a veteran, 101st Airborne. I am American. I don't speak Spanglish.
Mm-hmm.
Speak English.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling him everything that's going on about the walk. Well, he looks over and, boy, let me get his goddamn car and give you a hug. You motivate me, kid. You walking across America looking all fancy with your American flag, camouflage. Hell, I'd even say I saw you running down the road at some point. I was like, yeah. Well, no, get over here, boy. He, big guy, too. Big guy, right? Runs over and gives me a big hug. the sweat came off this guy. Nice people. He's good people, except the beginning meat. It happens. But that smell. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Gotta love it, though.
Yeah.
You meet just the expression from the guy, like the Pennsylvania accent.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was pretty good and funny.
Yeah. That is funny.
And so you've had some really good receptions in the different towns that you've gone in.
Yeah, I've had a lot of news when they do cover. A lot of people do watch it, and they'll stop on the side of the road and hand me a bottle of water.
Yep.
And I love it. Water's been the best thing for this trip.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So we only got a few minutes left.
Right.
So when this is done, when you reach California, then what?
I'll let you know when I find out.
Yeah, you know what?
I mean,
we love that. Come back on.
Yeah, I do want to continue helping vets. I feel that, it is helping me at a point, helping vets, raising awareness, letting other people know what PTSD and TBI is, helping out the homeless vets.
Right.
I mean, come on, you can't get any better than that.
No.
Like,
Oh, we have a phone call.
Sure, we got
just
time
in
for
time.
one.
Yep. Welcome to Soul Chat.
hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, welcome to Soul Chat.
All right. Mr. Eric there?
Yes.
Yo.
What's up? It's Bobby in Oklahoma.
Bobby in Oklahoma, what's going on, bud?
Not much, brother. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm sitting next to a lot of beautiful people right here.
Oh, he still kisses up.
Yes.
This is good. He didn't lose that.
It's nice to see you feeling better again.
Yeah, it definitely is better to feel better. Messed that up a little.
So, did you serve also?
Pardon me?
Did you serve in the military also?
No, man, I was in law enforcement for a while.
Okay.
But Eric stopped at my house for a while and crashed at my place.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you for supporting him on that.
Thank you, Bob.
But no problem, brother. I ain't heard from you in a while. I'm glad to see you're still alive and kicking, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
How did you
rocking and
find
rolling.
us? How did you find him on the show today?
I am in a local militia, actually, and we found him on one of our pages, and he needed some help walking down the road, so I gave him a bed, bath, and a shave, and he crashed in my house for a week, and we had a good old time.
So how did you find the show that he's on today?
Oh, he sent me a message.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I forwarded the text.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it got out.
Yeah. It got,
That's good,
it
though.
got out.
That's
It
good.
got out.
I never know if they get out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, thank you for supporting him.
No problem. I want to call and say hey and keep on rocking, brother.
Yep.
Right on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Before we let you go, how's the little one?
Oh, she's doing great. She's playing with Windex right now.
Oh, boy. You better go grab her before
that's
she
a great
starts
story.
spraying everyone.
Well, thank you.
But she was watching the TV show on the web. I said, you want to see Eric? She said, yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
But she's
Oh,
watching the
It's
the
being recorded.
webcast.
It's live, yeah.
Yeah.
live.
That's it?
Yep. You've been on.
We're
You've been
live.
on.
Yes.
You didn't pick
wave
your nose
to,
or anything.
Wave to,
I didn't know.
Wave to his daughter.
Yeah.
Wave
Wave.
to his
Wave.
daughter.
There she is.
It's Eric
little one.
Roberts.
Yeah.
Eric Roberts. Eric Peters. I did that earlier.
She's calling me Eric Roberts.
I know, right?
Do we have
Right.
another call?
We do. Oh, great. Okay, so we have another call.
All right, y'all have a good time. I'll see you later.
All right,
Bye, see you,
thank
bud.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, welcome to Soul Chat.
Hi, this is actually Eric's mom.
Oh, Dee, what's up?
Hey, babe.
What's going on?
Hi,
I just
Dee.
called to say that you finally look good.
Huh?
Yes, he does. He looks very good.
Oh, it's the beard. I
He's
know.
he's been eating well and getting some sleep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while there you weren't looking so great, so it just makes me happy to see that you are looking good.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Yep.
Definitely a lot better.
And Jane, I just want to thank you for helping him out and taking him in. It makes a mom's heart feel good.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.
All right, I know you guys are getting close to the end of your show, but I just wanted to call in and say hi, I love you, and I miss you, and keep it up, babe.
Will do. I'll keep holding strong, going all the way.
Thank you, Dee.
All the way.
Right on.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Will do.
We actually are getting close to the end of the show.
Yeah, and he said we can keep talking for a few minutes.
Oh, you're going to let us go over? Wonderful. Perfect.
George, you're so nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
What do I got to do for this?
Yeah, well, we're going to have to give him a healing session here.
Yeah.
You have to go. Actually, you did indicate that you had been to some drum circles on your journey. So, Lainey, you have a healing circle Sunday.
This Sunday, yeah,
and I'm
on Sunday.
going to make sure Eric's there.
Yeah.
Which means I have to give up a couple of hours of football.
Okay.
Who's playing on Sunday?
I have to look and see.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I don't give up football.
She doesn't give up football for much.
Right.
You know, so that's good. Yeah, it's going to be at Soul Sundays at the Meadows, which is 2900 South Valley View here in Las Vegas.
And we've actually, I think, got some veterans in there as well.
I
had the Air Force
do.
couple that was there back in October. We have another phone call. Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome to Soul Chat. Welcome to Soul Chat.
Hello.
Hey, this is Eric Charman. I was Eric Peters' roommate, trying to get in touch with him.
Well, he's on our show, so you succeeded.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, go ahead and connect me through, please.
You are. You're already connected.
I hear you, brother. I hear you loud and clear.
Well, I guess I'm behind on the video, big guy.
Behind,
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for the speakerphone on here. Hold on. What? I don't know. Hold on. I'm trying to look for it on the smartphone. I guess I'm behind. Oh, well.
Hey, Charmin, where are you calling from?
Nashville.
Nashville. Woo-wee.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's...
So you passed through Nashville, right?
No, I wanted to, but out of the way.
Is that off path? Yeah.
But yeah, Eric Charman, I lived with him while I was in the military.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you've got some stories about Eric.
We don't have enough time.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yes, ma'am. Not a problem. I'm here in Nashville with my daughter and my ex-wife and her girlfriend. You know, we're all trying to be civil here.
Yeah, that's great.
Good.
Well, he's going to be on the radio again tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, Eric will be on the show that starts at 7:00 here with my friend Maxwell Silverhammer.
That's Pacific Standard Time.
Right, Pacific Standard Time, and the name of the show is The Shit That Irks Me. So it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it's called STIM.
STIM Radio, The Shit That Irks Me.
Dude, you got to tune into it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It will be posted. We'll get that posted on your wall. We'll get that out.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, and it's no holds barred radio, raw and live. Wave to your friends in Nashville.
What's going on, Nashville?
What's going on in Nashville?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we've got the rodeo here this week, I think. Right.
What's that?
I think Las Vegas has the rodeo here. That's what my kids were saying.
What's that got to do with
We
Nashville?
got a ton of cowboys here this week.
Yeah, well, they came from Bakersfield too, so you know, Nashville's all about country music.
So is the rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, dude. We gotta let you go, man.
Thank you. Oh, well, thank you
Oh,
again
yeah,
for
huh?
your service. So there's a couple of. Are we going out? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
We're
We're gonna go stay on for just a few
we're
extra
back.
minutes. Yeah, we're
So
back.
We're back. Right.
All right.
That was a pretend, right?
Yeah.
So we get to stay on, and George, I really appreciate you doing this. This is very.
Thank you so
yeah.
much, George.
Yeah.
Big time. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
He doesn't
So,
do this for many people.
When was the last time you talked to your mom?
That was back when I was 9 years old.
The last time you talked to your mom was when you were 8 or 9 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That's great.
Yeah, there's more to it, but
Oh, I get that.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah.
that's good because
Yeah.
there was something about the energy that's why I asked, you know. So that's good. And so the last time you saw your roommate, Aaron,
Eric Charman.
okay.
That was, let's go back here. I went to Alabama. Oh, it was when I was in Alabama. I went to his buddy's wedding.
And that was when?
Maybe like 2 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
Okay, so this walk is reconnecting you with people that maybe you'd lost touch with.
Correct.
That's great.
Reconnecting and making connections along the way.
Right.
You know, so I can have somebody and that person can have somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and on his journey, he's also, as he said earlier, he's being very humble about it, but he has helped a lot of the homeless veterans.
Sure.
And he's also, you got a great story about shaming a couple of people that have not helped.
Yeah.
Oh, you better save that for Maxwell. I got to hear what he says
we
for
can
that,
save that for Maxwell Silverhammer.
Yeah.
And that will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the same website, All Talk Radio, 7 p.m. Wednesday night Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, it's alltalkradio.net.
And Eric will be on from 7 to 8. So you'll be able to call in at the same number.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mind if I say something?
Go for it.
No, go for it.
For anyone who's listening to the radio right now, you can go on Facebook or even look on Google. Look up No Veteran Walks Alone. Mm-hmm. That's my Facebook page. I'm getting close to the journey end. If you want to say something, tell me how my beard looks. I'd greatly appreciate it. And just tune in and do the right thing even when no one's watching.
Right. And then, help a veteran. Get involved in the
Absolutely.
community. You said something to me that was very telling earlier, and that is part of what you're trying to do, aside from raising this awareness, is you're finding that your generation is kind of not really paying attention to our vets. It's the older ones, it's the older people.
Absolutely. I've actually made more friends with the older generation than I do with the younger generation.
Yeah.
It's just they need to be taught. Someone needs to tell them that, these are the men and women who make sure these kids can go to their fancy schools and put on some fancy pants.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think part of that is, and maybe George can help me on this one, part of it is that until 9/11 happened in 2001, there had been nothing that happened in this country since the Korean War in the 50s, really, other than riots at home.
Riots. We had had some.
But we had
buildings,
country, these generations had not experienced anything like the World War II veterans, like the Vietnam veterans,
it was actually
like the
Pearl
Korean.
Harbor. I mean, I think you'd have to go back to Pearl Harbor.
And the Korean War is called the Forgotten War,
yes,
I think.
Yes, my dad was Korea.
So those are these generations that have been born since the 50s. We really had not experienced anything like that until 9/11.
Yeah.
That was the first time that kind of terror, that kind of feeling had happened.
And yet my kids, they have a lot of friends that are active military now, and they've both
But that's because of you.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I mean that's your passion.
Yeah.
That's your focus.
Right, right.
And my son has a friend, hello to Joe if you're listening, who's been to Afghanistan 4 times.
And see, that's just way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Yeah.
And Natalie, Luke Penrose has been to Afghanistan, so shout out to Luke.
Hats off to them.
There's been a lot of things in general. If you look at the collective of people that were born, like say in the 60s, 70s, 80s, came into their teen years probably in the mid to 80s, the worst thing that happened was a really bad football game.
Oh, don't even go there with me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it.
Actually, it was basketball at the time.
But what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As far as stress goes. And I'm not talking about people. There's homeless people. There's always been hungry people in the United States. There's people that are poor that don't know where their next meal is coming from. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the kind of thing that happens during war.
Yeah.
That kind of stress has not been experienced in this country for a very, very long time.
And I think 13 years later that New York is still suffering from 9/11. And I mean, you know what I do for a living. I tune into those kind of energies. And I did tune in at one point to the energy of New York. And there's still a lot of trauma energy there. And I would equate that to 9/11, and so I would hope that all of my healer friends out there who do this kind of work would take their modality and help clean up the energy of New York, because it is still very much hangs over the financial center.
Right. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So, and we're so far removed from it on the West Coast. We didn't, the most that happened, I mean, it was horrible. I watched it. I woke up with it. I had a phone call that I watched it. I watched when the towers came down. But the biggest effect was the airplanes. That's what I remember. It was so quiet.
And actually,
and I didn't even know they made that much noise.
It was. You're right. And then, of course, here in Las Vegas, the rental agencies the cars were completely booked because people were driving back. But I will say kudos to McCarran Airport. They were the first airport to be pass all the security clearances, and they were the first airport opened after
Wow.
9/11 within 2 or 3 days.
But so it affected people, but not in the way that war can affect it. We weren't running except in
Right.
ground zero.
Right.
People weren't running for their lives.
Were
We
you-
weren't running for our lives in Portland, Oregon. We weren't
Right.
running for our lives in.
So you were in Portland?
I was in Portland.
See, because what it did was it really affected the economy of Las Vegas.
Oh, it
People-
affected the
just-
economy, but the economy later. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the day
Oh,
of
the
actually
right.
experiencing
Yeah.
the kind of fight or flight effect that you have in war, the kind of, am I going to survive till tomorrow?
Yeah.
We have not experienced that in this country,
that's
except
true.
if you're poor
Yeah.
and you don't have you don't have a roof over your head and you don't have any food.
And that's going that's going moment to moment.
That's going
right,
moment
right,
to moment.
Right.
So,
And
yeah.
absolutely, we should put out there too that if you are in that kind of situation or you do know somebody, there are groups out there, Catholic Catholic Charities, Catholic War Veterans. They, at least here in Las Vegas and probably in other areas, they have a pantry. There's and you don't have to be Catholic to go get the food there. There's a lot of groups out there. So if you're homeless, please try to connect.
So Eric, if there's one thing that you would like to say before we go,
This is it.
is there something that you would like to say?
God bless America.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I'm privileged to consider you a friend, and I'm very proud of what you're doing, standing up. You are the face of PTSD. You've got a lot of support out there from your brothers and your sisters, and it's just awesome what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And I want to say I'm very impressed that you listened to your spirit, because your spirit is what came through that guitar.
Yep.
Yep.
You heard it.
Yep.
You heard the whisper. You heard the call, and you did it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. A lot of people hear the call, but they don't do anything.
Yeah.
You did.
It's got
Yeah.
to. It's something's got to be done.
Yeah.
Got to stand up for what you believe in.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's really going to stand up for it until you lead the way.
Yeah.
You know.
And it was twofold. It was standing up for yourself, and it was standing up for
Mhm.
other people, which is really important.
Yeah.
Really important. So.
You gotta leave an army guy to do the work.
That's oh, now we're gonna have a bunch of Marines calling now.
Yeah. So we also want to give I also want to give a shout out to U.S. vets, because
Yes.
we have worked with them off and on, and it's been a really rewarding experience.
Yeah.
And there's some drummers out there that really rock.
And,
you know.
and bringing that up, they do have their annual Christmas wish list, and I will, if I can get it, I'll post it on Soul Chat.
Okay.
Please like our Facebook page on Soul Chat. But the Christmas wish list is for the veterans that are in the shelter program or in one of the satellite locations, and it's about making sure that the veterans get what they want for Christmas. Sometimes they want very simple things. Other times they want things more expensive. I know one veteran last year wanted an airplane ticket to go see his daughter back east.
Right.
So things like that. So if you can check it out, go to usvetsinc.org and then they're in a lot of different places, but the one I'm supporting is obviously the local one here.
And
in
you
Las
can
Vegas.
always, if you have any questions about that, you can always go on our Facebook page, Soul
Right.
Chat, and send a message to Jane or I, and we'll
and-
get you
and
connected.
we'll connect you. Yeah.
So with that, Jane, where are you going to be besides Karma Connection?
I'm at Karma Connections. Oh, I do have to say that we are having a meet and greet on Thursday night at Tropicana at the Bar, which is the name of the place, and it's on Tropicana in Durango, starting at 6, going till whenever. So please come out and meet Eric.
Please.
Yeah, please come out and meet Eric. But it's going to be starting at 6, Tropicana and Durango at the Bar. I'm at work at Karma Connections, and I don't have that number memorized, but I should.
It's on Warm Springs and Rainbow.
Warm Springs and Rainbow. KarmaConnections.com is their website. They also have Karma Connections Facebook page. And if you're interested in a pranic healing or an intuitive session, you can get a hold of me at 702-204-7750. And where are you this week?
The next 2 Sundays, I'll be at Soul Sundays at the Meadows, which is 2900 South Valley View. I'm doing a shamanic healing circle, which is open to everybody. Beginners can come.
Right.
The 21st, we're doing a winter solstice event.
That's going to be
Karma
fun.
Connection.
At Karma Connections.
You can reach me at 702-308-8464. And for the coming week, if you meet someone who has served in the military, who has stood up when nobody else would, because they had to, okay? Just thank them if that's all you can do. And ask them, what can I do to support you today?
Yep.
Okay?
Take the time out to be compassionate.
And if you come on Sunday, Eric might be at my healing circle,
Yeah,
so you can
yeah.
do them
Yep,
as well.
yep.
And I'm in a show Saturday night.
Oh,
Christmas
that's right.
with Liberace. Yeah.
Oh, right. That's
at
right.
the Viva
Yes,
Las
we can do
Vegas
that.
Event Center. And other than that, have a great week. Thank you for listening. Thanks, Eric.
Thank
God
you.
bless America, and thank you.
Service.
Yeah. We're going to send you out with the
Everyone.
song.
Awesome.
that will be the might that guides